in my opinion, all parts were covered, probably beyond what is needed for PE, because it gives you the confidence for the exam as well. I quit the university and I joined industry. After NASA, I joined the technical lead of an EV company. And then after that, got back to the aviation again. There are tricks in PE. PE is not just about knowledge. I know you felt my stress because there was no way I would accept a failure in this. Now, when I want to go in my email and compose, the Gmail give you suggestion of the recipient. You're my second suggestion of the emails I want to go. So that shows that how many questions I ask. I thought having a PE in addition to the PhD and the other things that I have makes me more worth more, than I do feel that now. Not only because of the license, but also because of all the technicals that I went through in the last 4 months.
Hi, Reza.
Hi, Wasim. How are you? Good
I'm
morning.
doing very well. Good morning. So congratulations on passing your PE Power exam in first attempt with me, Reza.
Thank you.
So
Yes.
Reza, you're one of the very few students, we were chatting before the interview, who actually enjoy the journey, the learning experience. So let's
Yep.
start from that standpoint, because a lot of students, they go through the FE and PE Power exam preparation process and they're like, I'm glad it's over. I'm sure that you are also enjoying your weekends a little bit more. The live training is done. You don't have to worry about all of that. But tell me a little bit more about that mindset.
Sure. Yes, you're right. Part of it is of course, relief because, not passing the exam is not really enjoyable. But I did really enjoy the period because my job is technical. I am actual engineer, not like in a management. So I having all of these reviewed, literally all aspects of power reviewed, not only gives me more confidence in my job, but also it helps me in considering all aspects in the design. So that is one thing. The other thing is, well, I like this field. I like being power engineer. So if I know more and I have more comprehensive information regarding my field, it's more enjoyable and it's better for me. And to be honest, all parts, I think all parts, I was professor before and I had the experience of teaching all of this. And in my opinion, all parts were covered in the power field, probably beyond what is needed for PE. Not that it wasn't necessary, but I think it was because it gives you the confidence for the exam as well. I'm going beyond your question, but this is my feeling overall. They're connected to each other.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for that comprehensive response, Reza. So how about we quickly work through your academic background and what led you to pursuing PE license?
Sure. To wrap it up quickly, after I got my PhD, I joined academia as tenure track professor at Lamar University, which is a Texas State University. And then over there, after 5 years, I got tenure. So I became associate professor. Starting associate professor position, I wanted to get into industry as they call it faculty leave, so you can take advantage of this time to go into the academy. So I joined NASA, one of the contractors in NASA in Houston. So I really enjoyed being in industry, directly working on something rather than just doing your research and proposals on paper. So I made some sort of adventurous decision. I quit the university, even though I got the tenure, sort of, it's a permanent position forever. So I quit the university and I joined industry. After NASA, I joined as a technical lead of an EV company from that company. And then after that, got back to the aviation again. So I'm a senior staff engineer in an aviation company.
That's great. So very interesting journey, Reza. And I mean, it was a pleasure having you in the program. I could clearly see the quality of questions you were asking, and it was not only benefiting you, but it was also benefiting the rest of the class. And you were clearly putting tons and tons of effort. So we'll get to that. But so at what point did you did you think that you had to get the PE license?
Uh,
Once you made the switch to the industry,
I
you started recognizing that there's a need for that, or?
so from Elon Musk, and he says like somebody asked him, so how can I, increase my salary or make more money or I get better in my profession? All of these is toward one thing. He said, you need to worth more.
Right.
So in my field of study, if I get PE, I do worth more. Not that I just want to increase my salary or have more job opportunity. I thought having a PE in addition to the PhD and the other things that I have makes me more worth more, and I do feel that now. Not only because of the license, but also because of all the technicals that I went through in the last 4 months. Yeah.
Right. Right. So that was the main driver, right?
Yep.
Did you take the FE exam as well, or you were exempted from it?
No, I was exempted. Yeah. And the
Okay.
funny thing is, if I would stay in academia, I could have the PE exempted as well.
Okay.
I found it a little bit late.
Okay, well that's okay, but
Yeah.
you don't regret going through the PE exam preparation
No,
process.
not at all. Yeah, I actually enjoy this more. I mean, it wouldn't feel quite nice if you get the PE without this endeavor.
Right.
One other driver for getting the PE was, so you're in academia, you're focused in academia, but when you get to the industry, become a real engineer, that's the point you think about, okay, so PE is moved to be an engineer in your field. So that was another driver.
Right, right. And strictly speaking, you can only call yourself a practicing engineer once you have your PE, right? Even if your title sort of alludes to the fact that you're a staff engineer, this and that. So there are some technicalities over there. So you jumped into the PE power exam preparation process officially when? The first time?
Uh, I took this exam once, like in 2018, without being prepared, not even looking in anything. So I just got jumped into the exam. A little bit much too proud of myself. I got into the exam and I saw, okay, so NEC questions, I have no idea. And the NEC question was like 30-40%. So I literally like got caught in the middle of the exam. Then I thought, okay, I need to get prepared. Then there was a lot of reasons. So I wouldn't count that time as a
Right.
real preparation
Me
because I didn't
neither.
get prepared.
I don't count
But
that.
here,
Yes.
yeah. So here, uh, it was a very late, like 30th of March. I searched a bit in the internet, and I heard from my friends in civil and other fields of Reza, there are tricks in PE. PE is not just about knowledge. Yes, you have knowledge in your thing, but there have tricks, and there are certain things that you need to know that experienced person and an instructor needs to walk you through that.
Right.
So I was looking for that. I searched internet to find that person. And after searching Reddit, this and that, videos, and many other things, I found Basim is the right person to work with. So, one day after that, I had a discussion with you, and officially I started April 1st, right? 4 months after, plus 4 days. August 5th was my exam day.
Right. Amazing. So I remember, Reza, our very first conversation, and you were a little bit embarrassed, and I hope you don't mind. You're like, Wasim, I've never failed an exam, and it doesn't feel good, right? You're a PhD, full tenured actually fully tenured professor, right? And I'm sure that you did exceedingly well in your academics, no doubt about that. And as I mentioned early on, like you were asking amazing questions that not only helped you, helped me as well, and helped other students as well. But you were a little bit hesitant. I could sense that there was a little bit of fear, right? Is that the right way of putting it? That you're going in for the next attempt, and now you're going to be putting 100% into it, but you wanted to be sure that that there's there's no deficiency in your approach or in what you've learned and your methodology, and you want it to be picture perfect, basically, right?
Yeah. I know you felt my stress because there was no way I would accept a failure in this. Because like you said, I don't want to brag about it, but all the time during my education, the best, 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 always the best, best.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you jump into the exam, and if you fail that one, it doesn't feel quite right, right? Maybe I feel too much of the success, and all of a sudden this one was different. PE is tricky. It's not just about knowledge. For whoever is watching this, you need to be pointed at those. So yes, I was a little bit afraid because of the experience and because of I see some others just like me very successful in the career, but then they also failed the PE exam as well. So again, as you said to me the first day, it's not about that you're not good in your field, or you're not good student or doctor or whatever. You need to be pointed to the right things. NEC book, NFPA 70E, 30B, 497, 499, they're written by lawyers.
Yeah.
Best engineer in the world wouldn't understand them unless somebody tells them, hey, this is the way you read this, and these are the things that you can't memorize that at all,
No.
right? And it search things in the exam is horrible. It's not like a PDF, control F, next, next, next. It just starts from the beginning. Even though you're in the page 500, it doesn't start from that page. It starts
Yeah.
from the beginning, and they're not connected. It's so horrible. So you need to be prepared for that. And so these are all the stresses I had, and I'm so happy. I'm so sorry about all those questions. And the
No, no,
funny
I mean, they
point
were
here,
great
the funny
questions.
point here, when I now when I want to go in my email and compose, the Gmail give you suggestion of the recipient. You're my second suggestion of the emails I want to go. So that shows that how many questions I asked. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we exchanged over 100 emails over the course of our correspondence, but it was a pleasure of mine. Now,
Mhm.
after having overcoming that hurdle, that okay, I want to get this thing done, and I want to get this done in the first attempt, and you had the onboarding call with me, and you told me that Wasim, I don't have much experience with NEC. Obviously, your fundamentals were pretty strong. How did you get started on your preparation? Because I mean, you utilized the live training program, you actively participated in pretty much every single session. But what was your strategy? How did you pace yourself over the 4 months?
Your plan. Simple answer, quick answer was your plan. You planned for me, but it was nice that you mentioned you may feel like some parts it's going slow, so you can pace it up, and some parts it's going too fast, you may slow it down. So I did that actually. So for the circuit parts, for the electric machine part, because these are the things I go over every day in the electric machine design, power electronic design that I do. So they were quite simple for me. So I went a little bit faster. I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss nothing. No quiz, no homework, no videos, no live training, none of these. I did all of this, but for the NEC part, I slowed it down. So your plan was the key. And at some points, like in protection, like in surge, arrestor, those points that, again, surge are, I would still call it related to the protection, even though it's in the measurement area, in the first, the general part area. These are the things that I didn't have deep knowledge. So I went a little bit further beyond the videos, even though it wasn't necessary. Now I know after the exam. I went beyond based upon your recommendations in your study guide and in your videos, on your footnotes, that, okay, so IEEE, this color book has additional knowledge, or this book and that book has additional knowledge if you want to know more and further. And
Yeah,
sometimes, if you want to know more, is not just luxury. I'm saying this as a student and as a former professor, going beyond, like, fill the gaps of ambiguity even for the basic knowledge. That's
right.
my feeling, right?
Yes.
So going beyond would strengthen your basic knowledge, you strengthen your foundation. So it's not just luxury, so you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
This is my understanding. So this was my strategy along the road. Again, I didn't miss anything of yours. And one more thing that I can mention is, I think I enjoyed this practicing several exam tests at the end, at the very end, like the last 3 weeks.
Right.
Uh, Yours was the very standard one, and beyond those, there were some non-standard ones. But even though they were not standard, they helped me setting my strategy
Right.
in the exam.
Right. And practice exams are super important. You then see sample exam. I think you did my computer science practice exam, bunch of my mini exams, and then you did some third party ones, and all of them
Yeah.
helped you. Now, how did you keep yourself motivated, Reza? How, like, you have a pretty senior role at where you're working. I assume you
Mhm.
have family as well, right? Other
Mhm.
responsibilities and things like that.
Mhm.
So how did you
Yeah.
manage your time?
This is a very critical thing. Yes, I didn't get much of encouragement from my manager for the PE. They said, "Yeah, we don't need it right now for you, but I do encourage you, take it. I give you whatever freedom you want," and they did. That was a good thing. But the family, having kids, and this was difficult. and I didn't want to put so much burden on them, because it would increase the expectation on me as well. It would
Right,
put
for sure.
another burden on me that you have to do the best in your thing.
Yeah.
So the motivation was my, probably I would say, gut, and also enjoying this path. These
Right.
two,
Right.
right? So these two together really helped me in this, and having a lot of exam and tests, it makes it diverse. It's not just boring, like you read this book from page 1 to 100, or watch this video from minute 1 to 800. That all of these together combine, having live training, recorded sessions, quizzes, exam, homeworks, back and
Study
forth
guide.
Q&A.
Yeah.
This makes you not bored, but the driver itself is the P exam. And I would recommend whoever gets into this path, after probably a couple of weeks or so, schedule their exam.
That's a good
Maybe if they're
idea.
not quite confident if they can take it with this, are they quite ready or no? So they can have a few weeks to have that confidence set, and then schedule for 30 months or 4 months ahead of
Yeah.
time.
No,
And
this is,
that would be another driver.
yeah, these are all great advices. And Reza, once again, many congratulations. Lots of good lessons to be learned from there. You being a PhD, having a very, very secure job. I think that is the most secure job that you can have in the world, right? A tenured professor. Technically,
Yes.
you cannot be fired for life unless you
Yep.
do something really stupid,
Yeah.
right?
Legal. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So you clearly shows that you have a growth mindset. You stepped out of that comfort zone, went into the industry. In the industry, you found that okay, there's something called PE and it's valuable. You worked on
Mhm.
your market value, as you quoted Elon Musk, that you have to work on your worth, right? And that's how you increase your earning potential and everything, respect, recognition, privilege, and everything. So you work on that. You walked into the exam first time without any preparation, got a shock of your life, right? A
Yep.
4.0 student fails the exam for the first time, recollect yourself, and then went back at it and got it done in an amazing way. Like your journey, as I mentioned earlier, I still remember there were a couple of email exchanges where I was like, no, Raza, it should be like this. You're like, no, 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 I verified it should be like this. And I went back and I was like, no, you're right. Right?
Yeah, it
So
was
those type
interesting.
of conversations, very few instances where, especially at this level, I've been doing this for quite some time now. And just like you, I also tend to have, a detail-oriented mindset. So I'm always, you remember in live training as well, I'm always zoning in, zooming in, and zooming out, right?
Zooming in. That's right.
So when we have to zoom in, I go into nth level detail if we have to, with derivation, step by step, and everything. And sometimes we, take a step back and zoom out. So I love to
Mhm.
do zooming in and zooming it out throughout the live training, and I think that helps at
Mhm.
least with me to explain students. So amazing journey, and good things await you. You're already at a very nice position in your career. And I'm
Mhm.
sure that having this be on top of that will open tons more opportunities for you. Okay.
Yep. Thank you for your effort in this, for helping me, being my coach into this. Truly a coach. I don't recall any mistakes I've done in the P exam, and that was certainly because of your coaching skill. Coming out, I guess I all I needed was 70%.
Right.
So after that, I had some question in my mind, this a little bit doubt in some questions. I came back, searched the internet, searched my books, and this is ChatGPT, everything. So to find out if I made a mistake in those, and I didn't,
Yeah.
and I
You
do owe
probably aced the
you,
exam.
huh?
You probably aced the
Probably,
exam.
probably. I'm so, to be honest, I actually text the NCS. I was like, is there any way that I can know my grade in this? They said, no, we don't
Right.
do this. Yeah. Yeah. One last thing, if it's the end of it, one last thing I want to recommend everybody is that this is my way. Nobody has to do this. Always work for your resume, no matter where you are, no matter what profession you have. Work for enhancing your resume. If you at some point you feel like your resume is halted, it's just that you are in such a comfort zone and nothing is
Yes.
being added unless the years of experience. That's the moment that I would say I'm losing. So I felt that in after the 8 years and ish in academia, even though I got the grants and 80 some papers, 10 patents and this and that, but
Right.
I felt like, okay, I can do something beyond this. And
Right.
I don't regret it at all. I do enjoy the moments of being in industry.
Yeah.
I don't discourage anybody to go to academia. The people's personal preference, but PE is one thing that you can add to yours with, no matter where you are. Yeah.
That's an amazing advice, Reza. And that demonstrates again the growth mindset and stepping out of your comfort zone, and that's where the learning happens, right? So thanks a lot for your time, Reza, and I look forward to staying in touch with you in your future career endeavors. And best of luck with everything. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.